All right, this full moon in Aquarius might have us feeling extra audacious. We might be feeling more fiery than usual. However, it is connecting to us just how much this rebellious spirit and this ability to have audacity and go forward with our wildest dreams, it is clicking to us how this is necessary for the collective. Okay? It is clicking to us that um our ego's desires don't always need to be antithetical to the collective desires. It is clicking to us that we have a role. The people need us, okay? We've got Jupiter conjunct the sun in Leo. Leo is often given a bad rep for having like a huge ego or whatever. But we've got Pluto conjunct the moon in Aquarius for this full moon. So we have Jupiter and Pluto exactly involved here in this blue moon or in this full moon. I almost said blue moon. Maybe there's like a once in a blue moon. Maybe you're doing something that scares you with the 3 of Swords in reverse. What else do we need to know? King of Wands in reverse. I feel like there's something that you're gonna have to do before you're ready. Um, the sun, of course. I keep getting like the show must go on, or like you're backstage and you're worried that you're gonna forget your lines, but it's like it's showtime, so you're like pushing yourself out there. Like, and with the magician at the beginning of this reading, like I feel like you are gonna have to make a major move. Like you're going to have to make a move, even if it terrifies you, even if you're afraid of embarrassment. Because Aquarius is a lot more about humanitarian, like a humanitarian nature, and Aquarius is traditionally seen as more humble than Leo. But this is something where it's like through your humility, you are being given um, audacity. And so people like, for whatever reason, Mamdani, mayor of New York, is coming to mind. People who make a bold move for the collective. People who surprisingly and shockingly take a stand for the collective. This energy has a lot of rebellion, death in reverse, the world. Um, I feel like whatever move you make is going to come from a steady sense of discernment. Like you're going to be making a move that feels bold, but it's not impulsive. So I feel like whatever this is, and I will pull some cards on it. Whatever this is has been a long time coming. Like I feel like you're at the near end of a transformation. Like with the death in reverse in the world, I feel like you are closing out an old cycle. Like you're closing out old loops, and you're about to make you're about to make your mark. On your marks, get set, go. There's something that you're doing that might seem impulsive to the naked eye that's actually not. And I think that it's also like maybe it has to do with being seen. And so like a lot of you might be putting yourself out there online as a thought leader. You might be offering services. um a lot of you, um you're learning to not be so particular about the process, and you're instead focusing more on your responsibility and your leadership. Like what am I responsible for? What am I here on earth for? What matters to me? What is mine to do? Like you're thinking more like a leader regarding like what is in my purview. You're shining a light on everything that is within your responsibility, and you're trying to make a bold move in order to get things in a better direction, not just for you but for the collective. And so for a lot of you, if you are healing from visibility wounds and you're wanting to start showing up more, even if you don't want to be a public figure, this is could be just as simple as getting your LinkedIn resume or your LinkedIn and your resume all settled. You are getting into a position to where it's going to be easier for you to be seen so that you can get what you want and magnetize it to you. But you are recognizing that there's a symbiotic relationship between you doing this and the collective, because you're starting to see how you don't have to feel, it doesn't have to be perfect before you get started. And you also don't have to feel like you know everything before you start to shine a light, because you might just be an example. You might just be illuminating something. Like this full moon really is shining a light on collective service. And I think that a lot of us, we have been limiting our potential. And this feels like we are going to be pushed toward taking greater responsibility for our gifts and our talents, because there's a world out there that needs your talents and skills. And for a lot of us, we are getting rid of, or we are breaking free from conditioning that makes us feel as though it is wrong to try hard, or that it is cringe or embarrassing to try hard. And we are instead getting something that's worth trying hard for, something that's worth being bold even when we feel humble. So, yeah, the juxtaposition between feeling bold and humble feels really important. And I think that a lot of people who have a more humanitarian spirit are going to start to show up a lot more. um I feel like there's going to be a lot of like a new age of celebrity, of um people who didn't have access to seek the spotlight that now do because of the internet. But I also think politically there's going to be a lot more people feeling inspired to come in and and end this cycle. Like we are ending toxic cycles to some degree. And I feel like this, with the death card in reverse, this is giving the energy of like ego death. I feel like if you're resonating with this, and this is a huge wide collective, but it's like um there's a lot of there's been a lot of just like transformation and like shadows coming to the surface, that we're reaching a tipping point where, like, for a while, for like many years now, a lot of these shadows have been coming to the surface, like decades and decades. But we're reaching a point where it's going to be almost impossible to ignore. And I think we're kind of already there, but like it's this energy of things are getting so weird collectively that we can't ignore it, and we need to be able to have discernment around the weirdness. Aquarius also is kind of related to weird, strange, uncanny. And with Pluto there, like we have strength in reverse, Knight of Wands in reverse. And I feel like with things feeling so increasingly absurd, like I'm getting the energy of like certain thing, it feels like a Black Mirror episode. Like this feels like a dark comedy. Like things feel very absurd. And so for a while this can make us cower. Strength in reverse, Nine of Wands in reverse. This can make us be like, wow, things are so weird that I don't really know what to do about this. But to me, this full moon, it's giving just the energy of um boldly doing your part, boldly taking a step. I feel like, yeah, because there's been inertia here, because I think that a lot of it is good-hearted people worrying about trying too hard, worrying about being embarrassed, worrying about being cringe. Good-hearted people doubting, oh, I don't know enough yet. Whereas there are literally people who are like evil, narcissistic, that don't have that problem and they just have audacity. And so I feel like this is a moment, like something is going to come to a head. Um something like fiery, like I'm seeing like a dragon in my mind's eye, like something might feel like you might feel like a fire breathing dragon, or you might feel like something comes to a head where you might feel a little defensive. The devil, justice in reverse. Yeah, it's a certain injustice. I feel like this is like you looking the devil in the face and showing it who's boss. This is very rebellious, and I feel like we're going to see something collectively in the news likely happen on this date. The Hanged Man and the Fool. Like, the jig is up. The Fool is making me think the jig is up, or like playing in my face like a fool, or like this is like this is like everyone kind of looking around and realizing that they have been set up to fail, and like growing more in solidarity. But the only way to realize that you have solidarity with people that seem like they're different from you is to be brave enough to look injustice in the face, look the shadows in the face, look the devil in the face, and demand more. And also be brave enough to hold on to a vision that is stronger than this. Leo is also about vision and being a visionary and like storyboarding. King of Cups. I feel like this is like a wild heart. I'm thinking of Brene Brown, and I can't think of the quote off the top of my head, but a lot of what she talks about the power of vulnerability, I think is really significant to this energy, because Leo is also very vulnerable. And this is like you also might be feeling like looking the rules in the face, or like you're getting over limiting beliefs, or thinking like money is fake, the rules are fake. Like, this is both Leo and Aquarius are both really rebellious energies, and the fact that we have Uranus is sextiling, and we've got Pluto involved in this full moon. But this is highlighting collective unrest, and it's also highlighting just like these the shadows that we don't want to face, and the injustices that we don't want to face. But this is inspiring us to allow our connection to each other as humanity and our love for each other. And this is inspiring us to lead in a humble way with humility, and to be willing to go first and be a pioneer. With the Three of Wands, this is taking a step forward of a long-term vision. So, okay, let's see if there's anything else you need to know, because a lot of that was like huge collective themes. And I know, like, in your own personal life, this can look a lot of different ways. In your own personal life, this could look like getting a promotion at work, posting on social media, volunteering, or donating. Or the thing is that this is giving the energy of each individual person taking one bold first step and feeling like they're all alone, but then realizing collectively that we're not alone. The Hermit in reverse. So yeah, we're not alone. Any advice for you? The Strength in reverse, the Ten of Wands. I feel like you are afraid of things coming to an end. Knight of Swords. And you've been biting your tongue in some area of your life. You've been biting your tongue because of these fears. Interesting. Okay. But you gotta recognize that I don't want to say cowardice, because I don't know your situation, and that's a strong word. But the fear, this is a fear and anxiety and mental gymnastics that is preventing you from having the strength and the audacity to move forward. I'm just saying that um this mental gymnastics is causing an inertia with the Eight of Wands. And I feel like things are going to come to a head. Things are going to come to a head. The Three of Pentacles, it's like It almost feels like the gears are going to stop turning unless somebody does something. And it's like time to ask yourself, who do you want to be in this collective moment? Leo's all about, who do I want to be? Who am I? What is mine to do? What can I do? And you might be, I think that this is the advice is, don't worry so much about what's not in your control. Because if we get too caught up in all these collective things that are way bigger than us, we don't even know what to do. When sometimes all we could do is like retweet an issue or like donate $5 to a GoFundMe or um, take one step toward like take one step toward your freedom and collective freedom. And also, I would want to say to remember that your inner child is like protecting you. Your childlike energy is protecting you, and that's that Leo energy, the sun. Um, as you illuminate your own childlike spirit, it ends up healing the world collectively. I feel like, yeah, I'm kind of circling around the same types of things, but I feel like the message is do it before you're ready. And like, it's okay to take bold moves, even if you don't feel like you can solve the whole thing, because it is all just we're all just taking a step in a direction of a collective of individual enlightened beings. Like, this is a process of you enlightening yourself by stepping more into your higher self, if that makes sense. And the advice is just to kind of resist the ways in which we're overthinking and judging ourselves for trying too hard or being cringe or embarrassing ourselves, because um, everyone has to start somewhere, and we are each just one little drop in the bucket of greater collective action. Okay, so if you want to know what themes this is illuminating in your own chart, check out the link below and comment. Let me know how this resonates.